Thank you, the Dean and the speaker today, Professor Raychaudhury. Now, I was requested to speak on Krishna Bharadwaj, we all, all the faculty who were around her, they knew her very well in various different capacities. So I would say I'll not speak very long because other speakers are there, but I think I touch upon what she has left behind as the legacy. This is not something very small, it's enormous. And let us recount, what the university and also let's recount what the university as well as the center which she founded received from her in various forms, in different forms. Now, Krishna Bharadwaj, a renowned economist who left behind a wide collection of work which she researched and were published in no time. And she did all that within a very short lifespan. It's not that, she lived long enough to complete them. Within that period, she died when she, as we all know, when she was 50, not even 57. So, within that period, how much work she did and how much other things she achieved and she implemented. So, her major contribution in economics include her work on the Shrafa system relating to value and distribution, and the second one is also equally important, a penchant critique of the neoclassical marginal analysis, which provided an alternative explanation of change and choice in terms of not just, calculating marginal changes, but in terms of social, political, and power relations in real life. This has a lot of relevance in the context of the current economic policies which are going on, not just in India, but all over the world. And, with austerity and recession and unequal distribution, the kind of policies which are pursued, she provided a very valid critique of that by questioning marginal analysis. Now, her research has been widely acclaimed by scholars from different circles of economists and social scientists, and in particular those who were working in her own area, the Shrafa system. For JNU, Krishna's presence and her enormous contributions, these came with a turn of events. What was it? Now, it started from her decision to return from Cambridge with her daughter, where she was closely working with a very eminent economist who was known all over, Piero Shrafa, and also with the Department of Applied Economics. She joined JNU with an invitation from the then Vice Chancellor, G. Parthasarathi, in 1971, initially as a faculty in the Center for Political Studies, because the Economic Center didn't exist then. Her ideas and the dream of having an economic center with a completely different orientation, however, soon came true, as the university readily agreed to provide her the green signal, which is remarkable, to start the Center for Economic Studies and Planning, which we abbreviated as CESP, with 6 faculty members, which included, of course, her. She started the teaching of economics in this department with a new tone. Now, what was the new tone? This was, and the new tone included that on the one hand, there was mainstream economics, mainstream neoclassical economics, with a very serious kind of emphasis, forming a part of the course structure, while there also remained their definitely not just also, but there remain in particular classical theory, macroeconomics, political economy of development, international trade and finance, economic history. These were equally important. The contrast was apparent with a completely different orientation of other universities. For example, in American universities, where our students went and joined, they came back and said, "Ma'am, there is no macro course there. How do we aggregate and how do we decide on the whole economy?" Or other universities, they were just, trotting the same line, the same course which they taught many years back. The young faculty included those whose earlier research fitted quite well with the new course structure of CESP. The initial 6 of us, I was one of them, and we were kept busy formulating the course contents. I still remember those days, providing an experience which was unprecedented. Offering those in teaching was like running a lab, trying out the new experiments with camaraderie. The different course structure, which started in JNU, had the appeal very soon, both in terms of having students from all over and also being adopted by a few other institutions in Kerala, in Hyderabad. This was, the faculty there found that, this may be a more meaningful way to teach. Very soon, as for the CSP, very soon the faculty expanded with addition of few specialists in the area of social choice, econometrics and planning methods. CSP also started the PhD program with a set of dedicated students who really did wonderful work. And in different walks of life, one can see them, with absolutely excellent performance. Krishna had the ability to organize her time very efficiently. Now, what did she do? She had multiple roles. These included looking after the upcoming center, of course, which she occasionally referred to as her baby. Now, her teaching, supervision of students, research, all these continued. I recall she used to travel back each summer to Cambridge, where she worked with Shafa till he was not seriously ill. And even later, she continued with the development, with the discussions on the Shafa system, and she organized the papers which was left behind by Piero Shafa at the Wren Library of Trinity College in Cambridge. All those were just a labor of love, with little support, if any, from outside. Her research came out very soon in books and major papers, which is all over, and a lot of people remember her. She also took the mantle of organizing the Schraffian and post-Keynesian ideas. Well, she used to organize the summer school with other faculty, of course, for young people at Trieste and other places in Italy, for students from overseas, from many places, and also it included her own students in JNU. Maybe few of you will remember the days in Trieste and the summer schools. At home, yes, at home Krishna was spending time with her daughter Sudha Bharadwaj, who grew up as Krishna wanted her to be. It was an open house where all faculty and students from, not just from Economic Center, but from all over, neighbors, they were all welcome, having excellent dosas in plenty and warm hospitality. Her devotion and achievements in Hindustani classical was no less important to her life. It seems Bhimsen Joshi once told her that you will excel. Well, but she couldn't continue because other things were too demanding. But it did not. But her musical talent definitely drew, many friends and students. Krishna's legacy did not remain with her immediate circle. It has stayed with numerous young people, professional colleagues all over, and, no less important, with friends like us who recall her with fond memories. Thank you.